Hello and welcome to Out and About. I'm Diane Gonzalez. Nebraskans have all learned a new word this year, sesquicentennial, as our state celebrates its 150th anniversary. Events and activities have been going on all year long, but the big birthday celebration is coming up September 22nd right here in Lincoln. And joining me to talk about the plans and what's been going on all year is Jeff Searcy. He's the chair of the Nebraska 150 Foundation. Jeff, you've been a busy guy.
Well, it's been a lot of fun, Diane, and thank you for having us today.
Now, I know that planning for this year started several years ago. I think my meeting notes go back to 2014.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
It's true, and it started even before that with a great group of Nebraskans from really all over the state that came together under the auspices of the Nebraska State Historical Society and started thinking what is appropriate for the 150th anniversary of statehood for Nebraska, and started back in 2012 and moved forward, and several groups were kind of formed out of that, and so it's been a lot of fun.
And you've had statewide participation from people and organizations.
Absolutely, from day one. And the Nebraska 150 Foundation was first created as kind of the planning and visionary group that began the overall effort as we looked toward 2017 at that time, which was 5 years away. But out of that came the kind of the need to help get created a Nebraska Sesquicentennial Commission at the state level, which we had great support from the Nebraska legislature. And then also out of that came the groups kind of working together through celebrating Nebraska statehood, and Governor Ricketts asked his wife Suzanne Shore, the First Lady, to kind of step in and be able to help coordinate, and it's been a fantastic effort.
Do you have any idea how many events and activities have occurred statewide?
There's been hundreds, and there's hundreds more yet to occur that have been on the Nebraska150.org website. There's been the major ones, the legacy projects and the signature events that have gotten kind of the statewide acclaim, so to speak. But there's been a great deal of grassroots, local support, community from parade to new efforts. It reminds me very much of the Centennial. As I read the final report of the Centennial 1967, they spoke of those large grassroots efforts throughout the state, and that's what I see happening again in 2017.
Were you here in '67?
Well, I was here, but I didn't have that wonderful opportunity to play the role like we're playing now, but reading about it made me realize what an important aspect of history and the future of Nebraska would be looking at the sesquicentennial. And so that's where that kind of began to have that interest and excitement.
Now, the capital city has been the focus for many events, but that will be the case with the Salute to the Good Life Sesquicentennial Spectacular, and that's coming up September 22nd on Centennial Mall. Tell us all about that event that's coming up. It's really a chance for the whole state to get together in one spot.
We're really proud of the upcoming event on Centennial Mall. Of course, the newly revitalized Nebraska Centennial Mall. Having the opportunity to serve on the Nebraska Capital Environs Commission for many years, we've been working tirelessly to get that mall redeveloped and to be able to have the opportunity to have kind of the grand finale of the sesquicentennial on our capital city's mall. That's really a statewide effort. Is really something that we're very, very proud of, and it's going to be so much fun. We'll have never had an event like this where people from all over the state, north, south, east, west, can come in together. And how this came about, Diane, is kind of interesting. I mentioned that Centennial final report. Well, when I was reading that, what discovered was that the citizens at the time, Nebraskans at the time, they were thrilled with that local grassroots effort that was happening throughout all the communities. But the one kind of, I don't want to say let down, but got a little bit of maybe some press attention that wasn't as favorable, and that was that there wasn't kind of a grand finale or a kind of an exclamation point on the overall centennial. So we wanted to try to make sure that that didn't happen this time, and that there could be that that grand event that brought everybody together. That's spectacular, and that's what's happening September 22nd. Just, I mean, it's coming up. Mark your calendars, and it's going to be here.
Well,
a grand event indeed.
You picked a great weekend because it's on a Friday, September
Right.
22nd. On Saturday, September 23rd, the Huskers have their homecoming game against Rutgers. So there's
That's
going to be
right.
a lot of Nebraskans here anyway. So what a great way to expand that weekend and to get more folks to come. Tell us about some of the things that are going to be there, starting with this mobile children's museum.
We're so proud of the Children's Mobile Museum, like you say, because what it's been able to do is go to 42 Nebraska communities all around the state and be able to showcase the history and the current and maybe even the future of Nebraska. And that Children's Mobile Museum, there was an idea that actually we learned about from Nevada. Nevada had recently had their 150th or sesquicentennial, and one of the disappointments in Nevada was they couldn't quite get that to happen. The mobile museum was a great idea, and they really wanted it to take place, but it just couldn't quite happen. And so when it was able to have the kind of the children's flavor here in Nebraska, the trucking through Nebraska aspect, and go through all the communities of the state, or so many of the communities of Nebraska, it was really fantastic. And we couldn't think of a better spot to be able to have it during the spectacular, during the salute to the good life, than right there on Centennial Mall.
Well, I'm especially excited about two aspects,
Okay.
the laser light show and the fireworks. Tell us about both of those.
Well, it's never happened before in the state of Nebraska, and that is having a laser light show, a spectacular show on the Capitol itself, and also using the Capitol as the backdrop for the grand finale fireworks. Now that is going to be something else.
Well, that's a little tricky considering, those fireworks are going to be going off right downtown.
There were some details involved. Indeed, sure.
So that'll be fun. The laser light show, tell us a little more about that. Like, is there a statewide theme? What are we going to see projected on the Capitol?
Well, it's going to be a surprise for everyone, including myself, and I'm so excited about it because there were several organizations that were contacted and that did some bidding and did kind of their proposals, and the very best of the best were selected, and that was all under the auspices of the Executive Director, Reagan Anson, and also First Lady Shore.
And we do want to recognize Reagan has put in a lot of time. She's put in so much time that she worked herself sick and couldn't join us today. So
She's
we wish
done
her
an
the best.
amazing
But
job
she's done a
in
great job of
coordinating.
organizing everything. So again, the Salute to the Good Life Sesquicentennial Spectacular is coming up September 22nd on Centennial Mall. The Children's Museum, Mobile Museum, music, laser light shows, fireworks. It'll be a great warm-up for the big homecoming game the next day. All the details you'll find at ne150.org, and at that website you can also find out everything that's going on for the rest of the year as well, because events, even though this is kind of the grand finale, events will continue.
Events will continue, and I assume there will even be some as we move toward March 1st of 2018, kind of bookending the entire year.
Well, I have to ask you, do you know what the 175th is called?
Well, you know, that's funny that you would ask, and you would think, oh yeah, he won't know. He will not know. But I did ask a historian when we had the opportunity to have a recent meeting, and he said, it's demi-semi-sesquicentennial.
The
Semi-sesquicentennial.
Semi.
Now, I didn't hold him to it, and I hope you don't hold me to it, but I believe that's what the 175 will
All
be
right,
called.
time to start planning for that one as well. So
Absolutely, it's only 25 years away.
what have you gained out of the experience of being involved in this?
You know, I was thinking about that just this morning. What an absolute honor and joy it's been, and what a great learning experience just to see Nebraskans come together, to see the respect and honor that we place on our history, and yet realizing where we are today, kind of the potential, and then looking toward the future, seeing the opportunity that we have ahead as a great state, and really recognizing just that wonderful soul that is Nebraska.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for being here today and for all your hard work. We want to give a shout out to Reagan again. Again, the big party, Friday, September 22nd. Don't miss it. All the details will be at ne150.org. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you, Diane.
We're
My
hoping
pleasure.
for good weather, too.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a beautiful fall day. All
Perfect.
right.
Thanks again.
When we come back, Jeff Mull will join us from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. But first, we're going to find out what's going on at the Quilt Museum, the Sheldon, and the other galleries around town. Stay with us. Welcome back to Out and About. Jeff Mull joins us now, and we're color coordinated.
We are. Go Big Red.
But viewers can probably tell it's the day before the home opener.
Yes,
So
it's a tradition. The day before the home opener,
That's
everybody
right.
wears red. You walk around the streets of Lincoln today, there is Husker red everywhere.
and it's only going to get better tomorrow.
It is. Big
All
day
right.
tomorrow.
Yes, it is. Fun time in Lincoln, that's
It
for
is.
sure.
And welcome everybody.
Well, we're going to start with two events that are so big they need their own show. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do an Out and About Extra, the first one ever.
Nice.
Here on LNK TV, but we do want to mention them in case people can't catch that show. The 17th annual Lincoln Arts Festival is coming up September 30th and October 1st.
And did you know over 90 artists from 10 states are well represented at this arts festival? People do a lot of shopping at the arts festival, and it's just a great place to be to share in what is the joy of art right here in Lincoln.
You can get all of your Christmas shopping done that weekend.
I can
Yes,
do that? That would
you
mean
could do
I'm
that.
getting, what, about a 3-month head start on this? Not right.
No, that's fine. Also, we want to say Lincoln Calling is coming up September 28th and 30th. This is the 14th annual.
That's right. 8 indoor and 8 outdoor festival spaces for music. Lincoln, Nebraska, thanks to Lincoln Calling and all of the other great music endeavors in our community, it's been compared to the Austin, Texas of the Midwest.
We're getting there. This is
We
getting
are.
bigger and
We're doing
bigger.
a lot of great things.
Yes, definitely. We want to mention a couple of summer music series that are still continuing, at least for a little while. Here, Lincoln concerts are Fridays through September at Tower Square.
Yeah, a lot of great artists, some great names when you look at the scrolling names of artists playing and so forth. You know, the Time Cops, Gabe Nelson with Pants and Clay, Mad Dog in the 2020s. Takes
Got
me
it.
back to the 80s on that
Yeah,
one.
you got to see that. All right, let's go to Art on the Plaza now. KZUM and Roots Music are doing this on First Fridays, and October 6th, featuring the Time Burners and a ferocious jungle cat.
Wow. Music in downtown Lincoln, you can't go wrong with that.
That's another Out and About first, I have to say, growling. That's good. All right, let's dive into our music segment here, and we're going to start with one of the best singers in town, Annette Murrell.
She interprets performers and songs from the 1920s Harlem. This will be over at Bennett Martin Public Library. The event is free, and of course this event is brought to you by Lincoln City Library's One Book, One Lincoln Community Reading Program.
Now, the Lincoln Senior Chorus is having a special event. This all started in 1967. A bunch of women met at the old firehouse, which is now the F Street Rec Center, and they said, well, let's form a singing group. 50 years later, they're still getting together and singing, this time men and women, under the capable direction of Jack Cole.
And you get a pretty good idea. They talk about featuring good old songs, spirituals, and special folk singers group. It's great that they've been together for so long. A lot of great history, a lot of great stories. A great night of music over at Vine Congregational Church.
That's right. That's at 1800 Twin Ridge Road, and that's free.
Yes.
So should be fun. This is interesting. Luke Bryan is coming for a farm tour.
Yeah, and this is going to be in an outdoor venue, the Benish Farm at Southwest 63rd Street, just south of West O Street. Tickets are on sale. Luke Bryan will be joined by country music superstar John Pardee. Should be a lot of fun in an outdoor venue. We do a lot of finger crossing
Yes,
for
we
any
do.
sort of outdoor music festivals, but to have Luke Bryan here is a big deal for Lincoln.
And it's the first stop on his farm tour 2017,
Yes,
so
yes.
special honor for Lincoln. Arts for the Soul is presenting Women of the World, and this is a pretty famous a cappella group that's coming.
Yeah, winner of the 2014 National Champions of Harmony Sweepstakes, this Capella vocal quartet performs original and traditional folk music in 30 languages, and they took a lot of their inspiration and mentoring from Bobby McFerrin, award-winning vocalist.
So that should be a good show. Aubin Music is starting its new season. Its 45th season.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
They do amazing things there. This group recently received the highest honor offered by the American Choral Directors Association. It's called Sounding Light. So that should be
Congratulations, Aubin Music. That's a big deal.
There is a special NET fundraiser coming up at the Rococo, and boy, you don't want to miss this one. It's a kid. We can call him a kid, right?
Right.
He's only 16.
Yeah,
but
and he's recognized by the Guinness World Records as the world's youngest solo musician to headline his own concert tour, 16 years old.
well, when he
Wow.
was 3, he asked his parents for piano lesson, and they discovered he had an ability to hear a song once and be able to play it note for note.
Note for note.
That's amazing.
At 3.
They call it the musical equivalent of a photographic memory.
That's
So,
pretty impressive.
yeah.
How many other things are we working with kids at age 3 with? And this kid was so further advanced. I mean, this is neat. Rococo Theater, great historic setting. You stop out and see Ethan Bortnick in concert.
Yes, that'll be great, and a great cause
Yes.
as well. And we want to remind people that Capital Jazz Society is performing almost every Monday. I think it may be every Monday. They're at Cottonwood Cafe, and that's always a great venue.
Great venue, yep.
All right, Lead Center news. Here we come. Lincoln Symphony Orchestra is back with Joshua Bell.
And the Lead Center Performing Arts hosts this world-renowned violinist opening the LSO season. Great way to kick off what's going to be a great Lincoln Symphony Orchestra season.
We want to deviate from the lead just a bit to tell people about a special event coming up at the library. This is going to be a reading of Man with a Violin, which is based on the true story of Joshua Bell.
Well, sounds familiar. Didn't we just talk about
That's right. And
Yeah.
some of the symphony members will be there demonstrating different instruments, and participants will have a chance to play them. So that'll be a fun way to get ready for the symphony season, especially for that opening concert with Joshua Bell.
Yeah, it's a big night.
All right. So are you going to see the B-52s?
I know one song that the B-52s
Love Shack?
Love Shack, right?
Oh, come
I
on.
don't know, like Rock Lobster, Deadbeat Club. The B-52s were the party band
They
of
still
the era
are.
and still are, still performing great live music. The setting at the Lead Center for music is really good. B-52 should be what's considered the world's greatest party band.
It's very danceable.
It will be. Great
Yes.
date night opportunity.
That'd be a lot of fun. The Lead Center is also hosting comedian Trevor Noah. He is the host of the Daily Show. It's his Lead Center debut. I've got tickets for this one. I should mention he's also the author of a book, Born a Crime, about his childhood in South Africa. He's talked about that a little bit on the show and some other shows. He's an interesting character.
Do you think there'll be any political humor that this man
I
could
have a
touch
feeling
on?
that
Do you
there will
think
be a
so?
lot of
I think there'll be
political
a little
humor,
bit of,
yes.
a little bit of that night.
I'm pretty sure. All right, the Orpheus Chamber Orchestra is up next on the Lead Center schedule.
That's right. This group is based in New York City. This unique group performs as a unified ensemble without a conductor, doing it on their own, and will be joined at the lead by superstar pianist Andre Watts.
Should be a good one. Let's do theater now. Big theater segment as the colleges and universities get their productions underway. But the Nebraska Repertory Theater is back. They took a little break, and now they're coming back with, it's kind of a sequel to The Crucible.
Right. In the story of the infamous seductress Abigail Williams, she danced with the devil in Salem. Darkness returns in this suspense-filled quest for redemption.
That should be a pretty interesting one. That one is at the Carson Theater coming up in October. And then the Playhouse is doing one of my favorites, Camelot.
Camelot.
Yes.
This is a great opportunity to get out to the Playhouse. Camelot, of course, the story of King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table, the beautiful Guinevere, and noble Lancelot. Another great twist. So many great places to go see these kind of things. And the Community Playhouse you can always tell people, like a lot of our venues, even including Pinnacle Bank Arena, there's not a bad seat in the house. You're on top of the action no matter where you sit. So if you don't get a ticket when you hear this, try to do it tomorrow or the next day, because things like this sell out pretty quick.
Yes, I imagine Camelot will sell out. It's got those great Lerner and Lowe songs, and not to be missed. Flatwater Shakespeare is presenting a play at the stables at Wyuka that's kind of spooky and mysterious.
Imagine the setting, a rural Irish pub where the characters, and they'll tell stories of the supernatural. So not only are they in a pub, which obviously is going to get a little bit creativity going on, but they're going to tell stories of the supernatural. This will be at the Swan Theater at the Stables at Wyuka.
Yes, that'll be a fun one. The Haymarket Theater is doing one of the classics, Odd Couple. I always think of the TV show with Tony Randall. So funny.
Tony Randall and...
Why can't we think of his name?
Right.
Walter Matthau?
No.
No?
that was-
Oh, I can see his face.
Somebody-
Somebody let us know.
Somebody got it, yep.
Okay. All right. Anyway, it's based on Neil Simon's
Mm-hmm.
most popular play.
One of the most mismatched roommates, one is sloppy and one neat. So that pretty much tells you the story right there.
Kind of like, my husband.
Most marriages, for the most part. Yeah.
All right. Nebraska Wesleyan is getting into some Shakespeare for its production. They're going to present Shakespeare's earliest and shortest play.
And he wrote this for the Yucks. He dives headfirst in the insanity and enjoy the ride during this production at Nebraska Wesleyan.
Wesleyan is also doing one about things a lot of us can relate to, and that is dividing an estate. Can be tricky.
That could be interesting. And this is about a lot of different things. This is a family in their century-old Texas estate, how they divide it up, the dysfunctionality of the family, as well as people wanting to kind of get together and make this work, but things never go quite that easy.
It says the knives are sharp in this one, so that should be entertaining.
Wow.
All right, let's go to some of our great museums. And yes, Calamity Kate
Yes.
lives.
I was on that show. I
Oh yes,
remember
we
that.
talked about
Yes.
this, and Lita Powell Drake is also one of the hosts here on LNK TV of the Live and Learn show, and she can still get into that Calamity Kate costume. But this is going to be a
Yes.
great exhibit at the Nebraska History Museum.
Yeah, a lot of the great puppets in costume from the 1970s kids program, Calamity Kate, the cartoon corral, everything that went into Little Reggie's Quiz Kids. A lot of great things going on at the History Museum, and the fact that they continue to bring out new ideas and new things from storage says so much about their collection. So this is going to be a great little flashback for a lot of us.
And I should say, if you don't follow Lita on Facebook, you should.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to write that down.
She's got lots of interesting stuff on there. She's interviewed a lot of people, including Jerry Lewis.
Well, and I see when certain stars pass away, they often reflect back to her, and she can say, yeah, I interviewed them in the day.
She did. She interviewed just about everybody.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to Morrill Hall. They have some of their usual and one unusual thing going on. Sunday with a Scientist, of course. There's September 17th and October 8th. And lots of different topics they explore. It's great for it's a great family activity.
Yeah, families get a chance to roll up their sleeves with the scientists. They get to look at what's on display, and a lot of times there's some career paths that are determined because you get kids in there, and much like our musician we just talked about, sometimes things click. So this is a great opportunity to interact with science.
They're doing a special partnership with the Smithsonian coming up on the 23rd. You can get into the museum free. All you have to do is download a ticket at smithsonianmag.com/museum day.
That's right, and that ticket will provide admission for 2 people. And this is a great chance to see what's going on with the museum. It's Museum Day Live in the Smithsonian.
And then Pop-In Story Time this month is going to focus on friendship.
Yay.
Yay.
All right, the story of you and I, it's awesome. Through stories, songs, and movement, everyone will learn more about the natural world. Stories and activities are geared more for children's ages 3, 4, and 5. So if you're listening out there looking for something for the little people, bring them on down.
There's also a special event coming up at the Lincoln Children's Zoo, and this is one special event for those with visual and sensory impairments. It's a special day for them.
Great opportunity. Zoo guides will lead tours to each station, and nature experts from organizations from across Nebraska will participate. Great way to interact with those that will get a chance to feel in sensory in a whole different way.
And don't forget the city parks. We always have tons of
Yes.
things going on at the city parks. We're going to start at the Pioneers Park Nature Center. Jamie, the naturalist, she does a regular walk out there, and you see some of the critters and see what's blooming and Your allergies will flare up if you have that problem, but it's always fun.
It is, and we encourage people to dress comfortably, but also call ahead because they only have so many spaces for this event. And this is a great way to see, Pioneers Park Nature Center, Spring Creek Prairie Audubon Center, any one of our Audubon facilities in the community is a great way to see the seasons change. Because I think a lot of times you miss that in what is the concrete jungle of most metropolitan cities. So get out and explore, stop on out to the facility.
All right, if you're a fan of roses, mark your calendars for the Lincoln Rose Society Fall Show. This is Sunday, September 24th. It's going to be at the Calvert Rec Center. It is free, so that's always a good time to see what's new in the world of roses.
It's a pretty event.
Yes. The Make Lincoln event is coming back to Trago Park, and this is an opportunity to find out how to do things before people forget how to do things.
That's a great idea. And they're trying to preserve those skills and knowledge through this production. Trago Park, it's free.
All right. And we want to remind people about the Hyde Observatory free programs. If the eclipse piqued your interest in the skies, this is a great resource here in our community.
Yeah, Hyde Observatory does a lot of great things located at Holmes Lake. It's on the south side of the lake itself, and you can get to it really easy. And a lot of great education, great chance to peek into what's going on way up there.
And don't forget the farmers markets. We still have 2 very active farmers markets going on in the community. Of course, the historic Haymarket Farmers Market. Even on game day Saturdays, they're going to be down there kind of getting everyone in a festive spirit. And then the next day, Sundays, the Old Cheney Road Farmers Market. And Old Cheney is finished. It is the smoothest road in town. I can say that because I drive it every day.
And I'm back on that road as a result. And it's an amazing project that's great. It's complete. Stop on out to this farmers market on Sundays.
All right, we're going to finish with a few Oktoberfests here. Everyone loves the beer in October.
They do.
Blue Blood is having a special event on September 16th. Blue Blood is the one that is on top of Robbers Cave.
Yes, it's a great experience. Probably one of the most talked about breweries right now in Lincoln. We have a lot of great breweries going on in the community, but they do a great job, and the event is free. Items will be available for purchase.
And you and I are going to do a show out at Robbers Cave one of these
cannot
days.
wait.
It'll be fun.
Right, close to the bats.
Bring your jacket.
Yeah, it's chilly
a
down
little
there.
chilly. The Piedmont Oktoberfest is back. This is a special event at the shops at Piedmont.
And this is a great opportunity to include live music and the best beers from Lincoln, as well as Germany, as well as local food vendors. I was just out in Piedmont yesterday. What a great renovation and expansion. It's just a great place to be, so stop on out there.
And finally, your third beer fest that you can take part in is the big one out at the Lancaster Events Center, the Octo Beer Fest.
130 beers, 24 food vendors, and they have a live auction. Now, there's 100 VIP tickets that get you kind of a special sitting with what they consider exotic beers. So I encourage you to get to the website, give them a call if you want more information and learn more about the event.
All right. That wraps it up for us, but there's a lot of other things going on in the community. As we mentioned, fall is a fun time with Husker football, and basketball will be starting soon. So
yeah, and we're still talking about the eclipse. We are still selling T-shirts through various vendors. What a great time it's been to be in the community, and so many people to thank. But for people that want more information, Lincoln.org is our website. You can give us a call at 434-5348. Or stop and see us at 7th and P.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Thanks,
we'll
Diane.
talk to you next month. When we come back, Tom Lorenz joins us from Pinnacle Bank Arena in Pinewood Bowl. But first, we're going to take a look at the other activities coming up at the Lancaster Event Center. Welcome back to Out and About, one of the busiest men in town. Tom Lorenz joins us from Pinnacle Bank Arena and Pinewood Bowl. And Boy, I tell you what, I can't imagine a weekend being busier than the weekend. Right before the eclipse, and it was
That was a great weekend.
was crazy.
It was so much fun. So we start off with Rib Fest, which goes from Thursday through Sunday, or Saturday. Great weather. We had a lot of fun with that. A lot of people came out. The smells are just as good as ever.
Yes.
That's our 21st year we've been doing this.
Wow.
So it was really exciting. We had some great music. And then on a Friday night, since it was a little bit slower at the arena, we did Kendrick Lamar, which
Well, that wasn't slow.
No, which is one of the top, or the top rap,
The top, yeah.
rap urban act out there right now. And the show was tremendous. We had over 12,000 people there. It was a great, great night. Then we quickly turned into boxing.
Yes.
And had that awesome Crawford and Dongo fight. And the crowd was just, it was electric in there.
I have never watched boxing on TV. I mean, outside of the Rocky movies. I watched this one, and just to see the arena being featured as the main event on ESPN that night, and it was awesome.
That went worldwide. We had over 1 million people watch it that night, and it was amazing. And the fight ended in 3 rounds. No one cared because it was such an amazing end. It was a body shot, and it was just one of those fun nights. And then that night, later on, we had a little storm. So instead of doing Joe Bonamassa out at the bowl, we moved him into Pinewood, or into the arena the next morning, and had a great Joe Bonamassa
Yeah.
show.
My husband got to go. He's still talking about it.
It was good. He
It
was
was great.
really, really outstanding. And then, just
And
that
then
little thing called the eclipse the
That
next
little
day.
thing called the eclipse, and yeah, that was quite the weekend. And the PR value of having something like that fight worldwide on ESPN,
It's been outstanding.
yeah.
We've already been contacted by some other organizations that want to look at doing things here. Lincoln's on the map across the world, so it's great. We had a group from Spain yesterday come through and tour the arena just to look at it because they like the design, and they want to do one back in. It was one. I don't remember the city in Spain, but it was awesome to have them come here. So, very good. It was a great
Yes,
weekend,
absolutely.
and we survived.
And you survived
That's right.
and had a lot of fun. All right, coming up in September at Pinnacle Bank Arena is not the big weekend. It's the weekend without the third E.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah, the weekend's coming in. Grammy Award winning. He has so many downloads online. It's a great, great show. This is the second leg of his tour, and so they've included us with it. We're very excited to have him come. It's kind of R&B music. It's really, really great. People have described it as one of the best shows by a major headliner that has been out in years. So we look forward to that weekend and to have the weekend here.
That's right. And Pinnacle's becoming known for having the best of every genre.
That's right.
So
And we had best urban, now we have best R&B. We've had the best country over and over again, and so classic rock. It's a pretty cool place right now.
And then some legendary tennis players are coming back for power shares.
Right.
And this one's fun because they call their own lines. And McEnroe occasionally has a problem with a line call. I don't understand.
There's not much of a filter there. He pretty much lets what's going on to his mind come out. So we'll have John McEnroe, Andy Roddick,
James Blake.
James Blake, and
Jim
Courier.
Courier.
Yeah, so
There
all
you
of those
go.
guys are going to come out. It's fun, and they play such a high level of tennis. The first time I saw it, I was amazed at the skill level that these guys still have. And they can drop that ball any place. And like you said, they're both mic'd up as they're playing, so you get a few comments back and forth. And they're good buddies, but they don't mind ribbing the other guy a little bit. So
And McEnroe and Andy Roddick, they were especially entertaining the first time that they came. And of course, Andy.
local guy.
Local guy.
He always talks about as he played as a pro. He always wore Nebraska gear. He talked about playing in Nebraska. He's still very, very excited to come back here. That's one of the main reasons why they're coming back, is because Andy really likes to see and play in front of the Husker fans. That's the night before the Wisconsin game, so we hope a lot of the people that are going to come to the game come over, spend their night Friday night over there with us, go out and party a little bit after, and then cheer on the Huskers the next day.
And I have a feeling Andy may be spending the night in Lincoln and going to that Wisconsin game.
I
so.
would think that would be one of those celebrity sightings you'll see at the game next day.
I do have to say, once in your life, you should experience Andy Roddick's serve
Yep.
live.
It's if
it's
anyone has
crazy.
the idea that these guys just kind of lay back, they don't. I mean, they still have a lot of pride and they still have a tremendous amount of talent, and it's really something to watch.
Well, all the talk today, and of course, game day starts tomorrow is about football, but basketball is right around the corner.
It is. We're going to have a great season with the men and women this year. We've got the games lined up. The schedule's out, so you can look online and see. We should have it on pinnaclebankarena.com also, so you can see when the games are coming up. We look forward to a great time with Coach Tim and Coach Amy. They'll be back with some great players. It's always an exciting place to be. We'll change some lighting this year and make it as exciting again. I love basketball season, and it's just the kids and the coaches and the fans are great people to interact with.
And you've got great food there too.
We do, and it's it's a place to come. You can come early, stay late, go outside into the rail yard, enjoy your seats. You talked about before. There's no bad seat in there. Basketball is a fun time.
All right, and talking about the best of the best, Beyonce's husband is coming back.
Jay-Z's coming back. They loved the time they were here before. When you talk about someone who is the top of their game, Jay-Z has been at that point for so long. He and Beyonce, the ultimate power couple. But Jay-Z will be back to bring his great music to Pinnacle Bank Arena. We're looking forward to December 6th. Nice time of year. School's just starting to get out. Students will be there. It's a wonderful time to kind of spend some little Christmas money a little bit early. Get that present out there and make sure that you and your friends can come and see Jay-Z.
Right, I know basketball time, it makes it a little tough for you to schedule some of the big names during basketball season, but I imagine we'll get a few more announcements
We will.
between here and
There's
here
some more
and the end
things
of-
now that we have the schedule. We can start talking about those, and so we'll fill some of those things in. We know a few things already, and so we'll have some great announcements here coming very, very soon. And I think we'll surprise some people with some of the announcements here in September yet.
Well, and looking into 2018, a lot of people have the March 24th concert on their calendars.
Mm-hmm.
The young artist Lorde, who captured so many fans with Royals.
Royal, she's coming back. She has a new album, and it's climbed right to the top of the Billboard charts. So by the time we do that show, it'll be a very, very hot ticket. Get your tickets early, and you'll get a great seat, and you'll be the envy of your friends when you come back in March.
And we've got one more show left at Pinewood, Wilco, on September. I have 322nd written down, but I have a feeling that's not the date.
Hey, no, it's
There we go, 22nd.
Right, 22nd. Jeff Tweedy and the guys are coming back, are coming to Lincoln. They headline over at Lollapalooza in Chicago so often. They're a great Midwest band, really good talent, kind of alternative country and then a little alternative rock and a little bit of everything, but a high level of talent, and that's a great way to finish off the season.
All right, it's been an interesting season at Pinewood, successful, but
It has.
a couple of shows had to move.
We had to move 4 shows this year, and in 6 years we had only moved 2 before that, and now this year we did 4. It's nice to have the arena as a backup. This was kind of a different weather year, but we look forward to next year also. We'll be back, and we'll have another great lineup, and thanks for all the support that people have given us.
Well, we went to one of the shows that had been scheduled for Pinewood and went to the arena, and everything was smooth. I mean,
It does. We try to match the seating, and particularly the pit up front and some of the other seats, just almost exactly like you would see at the Bowl. It's just drier, and the bathrooms are a little bit nicer at Pinnacle. So
we should have a contest to see who watches the weather more, you or the school superintendent.
believe me, I think we probably watch it over a longer time period. I wouldn't trade places with Dr. Joel, but yeah, we know what it's like to be curious about the weather every minute.
That's right. Well, give us the websites where people can find more information.
Sure, www.pinnaclebankarena.com, and then pinewoodbowltheater.com. So you'll be able to pick up either one of those and see what's coming up.
All right. Thank you so much, Tom.
Thanks,
Keep
Diane.
up the great work.
Yep.
And that is all for this month's Out and About show. I want to thank all the guests that we had today. If you missed any of the events, stay tuned. We'll be running a list right after this. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you out and about.